Can I interest you in some tannis root? Oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited. The prequel to Rosemary's Baby has finally been released. It is on Prime, or is it HBO Max? Paramount Plus? It's on Paramount Plus, yes. I'm so excited. I saw a trailer for this not too long ago, and it got me really excited because you may not know this about me, but I love Rosemary's Baby. It's probably one of my favorite movies that was ever made. I do. I even read the book by Ira Levine. Like, I love all of it. I consumed it. I love this universe. And when I found out they made a prequel to it, I got super excited because, again, I want to know more about this universe. I feel like we should explore more of it. And every time there's a remake of Rosemary's Baby, I try and watch it.
Even that dreadful Rosario Dawson one.
I still watched it, okay? So let's get into it, okay? Apartment 7A has now been released. And it is a backstory telling the story of Terry Giannoffrio, who was the tenant that was living in the apartment that's tragically, well, I shouldn't ruin it for you, but those of you that see Rosemary's Baby know exactly how this movie ends. Let's just say that right now. So spoiler alert, if you already know the plot of Rosemary's Baby, you already know how this movie's going to end. But it's more about the journey getting there, how it ends and how we got there. In case you don't know, Rosemary's Baby is a book by Ira Levine about Rosemary Woodhouse and her husband Guy, who move into the Bradford apartment buildings, and they're accosted by very overbearing neighbors that just kind of barge into their lives. And before you know it, Rosemary is embroiled in a very deep, dark cult. And she becomes pregnant and is concerned that they are after her baby. Apartment 7A is following Terry, our protagonist, who's played by Julia Garner, who I found out is actually that girl from the Ozarks. You know, Ruth, you know,
if you want to stop me, you're going to have to effing...
That girl, she's playing Terry. I didn't realize this. I had several moments of not realizing that certain people were playing certain people. Terry is a dancer. She's a dancer. It's very a chorus line for a lot of this movie. It's very camp, but it had me at hello. Okay. So like it started off really strong. Let's just say this. I really, really, really wanted to like this movie and it almost had me, but then certain things would happen and it got very, very silly. Terry is in a production of Kiss Me Kate. She's doing Too Darn Hot. And she's going to do a jump off of a platform. And when she lands, she snaps her ankle and it is nasty. And if you watch the trailer, you saw it coming, but still, like, it's still gross to see. She is sidelined. She's got a limp. She doesn't know where her life is going at this point. And she has an English roommate and a snotty roommate that wants her out because she's not contributing anymore because she hasn't booked anything. And Terry finds herself auditioning for a casting director for some up-and-coming, snooty, overblown, artistic musical venture. Like one of those atypical, like, New York productions that, like, come and go, but everyone's like,
it's going to be the hottest next thing.
And we're looking at it like, it looks like a piece of shit, but okay, if you say so. So she's auditioning for it, and this director is insane. And he instantly recognizes her as the girl who fell. That's her reputation. She's the girl that fell and injured herself during Kiss Me Kate. Like, they're asking her if she's still injured, and she assures them she can still dance. And they have her do the move that injured her over and over and over and over again until she eventually stumbles because she's fatigued. And at one point, she's about to leave the stage, and the casting director comes up and tells her, like, look, he's basically, like, trying to prime her for information. He's like, where are you from? She's like,
well, I'm from Nebraska.
You know, I worked on a farm. My parents worked at a slaughterhouse. He's like, oh, really? Show me what the pigs were like. Basically telling her, like, to roll around on the floor like a pig and oink for him. And here's why I had respect for her. She politely, even though she didn't have to be, she politely declined and walked out. Needless to say, her roommate, who is also a dancer, auditioned, and she got a call back, and she is pissed. So she decides, I'm going to seize my moment. I'm going to meet this bastard at his home and tell him a thing or two about a thing or two. She walks in there and she's basically pretending that she belongs here, that she has a meeting with him, even though she doesn't. Oh, also, she's a pill popper. Like, she's popping pain medication like it's M&M's, okay? Like, she is gone. 3 sheets to the wind. She is high. She passes out and wakes up in the Castevets apartment. Now, those of you who've watched Rosemary's Baby know exactly who the Castevets are. They are the prying neighbors that cannot mind their own business. They're constantly in Rosemary's stuff. Like, they're basically like the worst neighbors from hell. Like, the worst part is that they're nice. Like, they're overbearing, but they're super nice, and they just don't know when to go away. It's like, I get it. Go home. Do you ever go home? It's very that kind of neighbor. So, we are introduced to Minnie Castevet first. And Minnie Cassavette was famously played by Ruth Gordon, who won an Oscar for this film. She is played by Diane Wiest, who you know for being an Oscar winner herself, as well as she's been in a lot of iconic films like Edward Scissorhands, Bullets Over Broadway, like Pack a Lunch, okay? She's been in a lot. Although I'm not going to lie to you, based on her accent and her haircut and the glasses, I thought she was Mindy Cohn from Facts of Life. Tell me you didn't think that watching this movie, okay? I thought that was Mindy Cohn. It's like, oh, work, girl. I didn't realize you were doing this after Palm Royale. I was so happy for her watching the movie because I swore up and down she was Mindy Cohn. And it turns out she was Diane Wiest in disguise the whole time. I had no idea. I embarrassed myself looking at the IMDb credits for this, okay? I was like, oh, so that's who that was. Huh. Diane Wiest is giving her best Mindy Cohn performance. Like, it's not really Ruth Gordon, but there's essence of Minnie there. Like, she's probably the most likable character out of all of this. And she's giving full-on final boss energy. Like, you know she's evil. Which I guess isn't necessarily doing the best job. Well, most people going into this will probably have seen Rosemary's Baby. But the really effective part about Rosemary's Baby is the fact that, like, you can't really tell if they're evil or not. Because they're so nice and like they're so giving and they want the best for you. So it's just like you're thrown for a loop when you finally get the big reveal, right? So that's the thing. Like she's kind of evil the whole time. Like you can tell like she's very nice, but she's got like this nastiness to her that comes out far too often. Like she's very, very short a lot of the time and very bossy and pushing her way through people's lives. Like Ruth Gordon was very subtle about it. I will say this, like watching this back, I'm thinking like, wow, Ruth Gordon's performance was actually really good. Because, like, she just had little nuances she would do. You know, like, picking up parts of the sofa and looking at them. Or just, like, if Rosemary dropped a knife on the floor, she'd make sure to scrub the floor so there's no markings. Like, that kind of, like, weird, like, neurotic stuff is kind of missing. Diana Wiest is kind of mean. Like, she's kind of nasty. And I mean, I thought she was Mindy Cohn, so she's naturally a very sweet person when you watch Mindy Cohn in films like Back to Life and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is a fun little departure, but it was Diane Wiest. It wasn't Mindy. I was so sad when I found out it was Diane Wiest. I was like, I was so ready to be happy for her. The guy that's playing Roman actually is really, really effective. I thought he was the original actor. Like, I was like, but he's dead. Like, this is spot on. Like, they did a really good job on that one. She goes to see this theater guy, right? And basically the Cassavets give her the soft sell. Like, you know what, honey? We're going to help you back on your feet. And we're going to make sure that you are a star, okay? Because we believe in you. We like take in strays and make sure that they're taken care of and they have a whole roof over their head to follow their dreams because we're just patrons of the arts. It's all very bizarre. Even her roommate's just like, that sounds too good to be true. Like, nobody does that. Like, even in New York in the 1960s, no one's doing that, okay? Like, it's still rough as hell over here. She goes and lives with the Cassavets and immediately she's seeing shit, okay? Like, this whole building is weird. All the neighbors are weird. The Cassavets are weird. It just has a whole vibe to itself that just does not click. Also, we have that one small, tiniest bit of scene that references the original where you see Terry in the basement doing her laundry and you see Rosemary walking away because she has the pigtails. So I recognize, like, okay, so Rosemary's already in the building. So that means that Terry's not long for this world. So Terry is trying her best, okay? Like, she goes and has this meeting. The Cassavets set it up with her and this casting director who lives in the building. And she's having a good time. It's very flirty. It's very fun. He's going back and forth with her, and they're having a good dynamic. They're cutting up. He mixes her a drink. She drinks it and immediately gets sick and passes out. Like, she's walking through the hallways, full on, just like, uh-oh, girl. Get out as fast as you can. She's out like a light. And familiar scenes happen where you can see her basically rolling through the apartment, going down corridors. There's hands all over. She's seeing the Cassavets. She's suddenly in a tunnel. It's like the Parisian river all over her, right? So she ends up, how should I say this delicately? The devil has his way with her, and the devil is very stylized. It's like full rhinestone outfit, okay? It's like full-on Dracula performance challenge happening right now. Like, it is diamonds to dust. Okay, there's so much happening here. And not gonna lie, I feel like it had a higher budget and it had a lot more going on, but it still wasn't nearly as effective as the scene in Rosemary's Baby. Like, you could tell definitely, like, they were referencing it and you knew exactly what it was. And we know why they have Terry there. Like, we know what her purpose is. Weeks go by and Terry is now pregnant. Like, she's throwing up. She's got morning sickness. She's found out she's pregnant, but she also has landed the spot in this play that she thought she bought the audition for. He suddenly lets her know, like, oh, no, you're in the play still. So you better get to practice. And we reach that part of the movie where, like, they throw certain hurdles at you that make no sense. Like, she has this one bitch co-star in the play that's just rude to her for no reason. And even back then, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is 1960s New York. Like, if you were rude like that to someone, they'd probably just kick the shit out of you. Terry is such a pushover in this movie. And, like, watching her as Ruth and Anna Delvey in other roles, you're just like, punch her in the face. Like, it's frustrating because you've seen her be so tough in other roles, and this one you're just like, I don't know. Yeah, needless to say, this actress is put in her place fairly quickly. But yeah, we get previews of this play, and it looks like the biggest piece of shit in the world. Like, honestly, like, I'm watching, it's just like, what is this even about? It's totally giving like one of those New York productions that just comes and goes and is immediately forgotten. But they're treating it like it's Hamlet, right? Like, they're just like, this is the most important play that will ever happen. Like, this is the best role you could ever hope for. Like, the fact you're in this play is going to change your life. And I'm watching rehearsals for it. I'm just like, girl, it's going to be closed in like 2 weeks. Calm down. So the cast of vets are being real pushy, right? Like, they found out she's pregnant and they're giving her every single cell for her to keep this baby. And you can tell watching Terry's face, she's like, oh, baby, I'm getting rid of this thing. And she's giving you the whole speech and everything. She even goes so far as to go to, like, get a back alley, you know what? And the baby fights back. It takes control of her motor skills, and she's kicking the doctor in the face. It's everything. And honestly, you can tell it's like the baby is just like,
you're not killing me, bitch.
Like, the devil has taken over her, right? So Terry decides, like, shit, I know what's happening here. Because, like, she's vaguely finding out things here and there, which doesn't really align up with Rosemary's Baby. She decides, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. She finds out they're devil worshippers. She confronts the casting director. And lo and behold, she has a night vision, stabs him, and kills him. And it's like, okay, girl, well, now you have to join them now because you're fully killing people. Cut to the end. We're at the cast of vets party. They're having a lovely party at their apartment, right? And it is chic. It is fabulous. Everyone there is great. They're doing the whole Hail Satan. It's callbacks to Rosemary's Baby. And Terry suddenly says, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and celebrate. So she turns on the music and it starts playing Be My Baby by the Ronettes, which I have to say, this is one of my favorite songs that's ever been recorded. You guys need to stop with this. Honestly, like, this song is overused, and it's always used in shitty horror, I've noticed. From like Scream Queens to Barbarian to this now. Just like, can we stop? Okay? Let's just leave it at Dirty Dancing. It's never gonna get better than this, okay? So anyways, she's dancing, and suddenly she walks over to Minnie Castevet, who the whole movie was just like,
I know everything. I'm always right. I'm Minnie Castevet. I swear I'm not Ruth Gordon.
It's very that. Like, she's like, you know what, Minnie, you were right. She's like,
I always am, dear.
So she spins around, she does a chazé, and jumps right out the window to her death. Right to the beginning scenes of Rosemary's Baby. Let's talk about this, okay? So what was effective about Terry in the original movie is that she's completely clueless to what's going on. And when they realize she's not a good match for what their plan is, they immediately throw her out of the window and kill her. I feel like had she been more, like, unaware of what was happening, it would have made for a better film. I understand it's not the most, like, formulaic when it comes to having a hero and a protagonist you root for, but it's a better story than what we got. Because what we got here was just, like, hero girl finding out everything and then suddenly killing herself. It's terrible. Like, I hated the ending of this. It's like, this is the best we could do. You should have just kept it at her being completely dumb to everything that was going on. It would have been a lot more effective, in my opinion. Also, let's just talk about it. When it comes to the sequels and prequels of Rosemary's Baby, they are notoriously bad. From this one and the one prior to this, which was a made-for-TV movie, look what happened to Rosemary's Baby, which is unwatchable. So yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer because, like, Son of Rosemary, the book, wasn't bad. Like, it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't Ira Levin's best, but at least it was a better attempt at writing a finishing story than this was. But yeah, like, I was left very underwhelmed with this, like, ending. I wanted more. And, like, I feel like it was a kind of a missed opportunity, which sucks. It started off so strong. Trust me, it was so strong starting off. And I was really into it. It was very well shot and very well casted. It's just like, damn, bad story strikes again, you guys. But as far as what I recommend Apartment 7A, you could probably skip it, honestly. Just watch Rosemary's Baby. Truly. Mia Farrow, you can't top it. It's the best. It's going to be the best you're ever going to get from this, okay? It doesn't give you any more answers. You're just left with more questions. That's what I think about Apartment 7A. It needs to be evicted, okay? Foreclosed, shut it down. All right? They're squatting here, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love doing these little movie reviews and just talking to you guys about stuff because honestly, I was happy when I found out Rosemary's Baby had a prequel. Disappointed in the end result, but sometimes it happens. If there's a movie you guys want me to see, please let me know. I'm looking to do more of these things. I actually really, really enjoy them. Honestly, thinking about, you know what would have made a better ending? Had she had done that move that injured herself out the window. Like, full pose, just like, and sticks the landing right on her face. That would have been everything. That's what this movie was missing. Like, it was high camp, but it's just like it kept missing that punch.
Also, can I just say, what was the hair in this movie? There was a hair situation happening here. You look at the original movie, Terry is wigged down. Look at this bubble cut. Oh my God, they need to go harder on the hair.
And they kept trying to like give you the send-offs to the original. It just wasn't working. It's like, just do your own thing. I feel like that was the problem, is it just was not doing its own thing. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.